Yo, what's going on? Music Coffee Hour. We've been lacking. We missed, what, 2 days? We're getting in the process of making it daily, but we just started a job delivering some Amazon stuff, even though I got a degree. Check out other videos if you want to hear me bitch about stuff like that. We're here for Music Coffee Hour. What are we checking out today? We're checking out this band called Unprocessed. They're a bunch of different good vocalists and other people. It's kind of the vibe of the band, but their musicians are extremely good. And this one's featuring Fever 333, quote unquote, aka Jason Aalon, who's fun to watch. He's an amazing, one-of-a-kind metal singer, but he's also the guy that kicked out the other 2/3 of Fever 333 to make it some popularized metal band. I don't know, whatever. That's for a different video. But the song itself should be good. And it's featuring Jason, not Fever, and that's how I won't get into that whole yappy thing. Here we go. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Ooh, it's gonna be heavy.
So what's it gonna be?
It's gonna be interesting. It's super heavy, super bass heavy. Obviously, it's the bass band, and very kind of scary, doom feeling. You know, feeling kind of like it's right on the edge of something very scary and threatening. Then we're gonna have Jason. Sounds like it's gonna start being a little more rappy to start off, and we're probably gonna then go into some super heavy vocals. It kind of sounds like he's going to be lowered back in the mix because the band is about the band and it's featuring him, featuring the vocals, but it's really more about the bass. And mix-wise, it's hard to make all those tones work together properly because you have two basses or multiple basses with all those low frequencies plus a male voice that's in the lower mids. And yeah, it's difficult to do, but we'll see how it goes. I love that little breathing though. Still setting the scary vibes.
So what's it gonna be? You gonna get paid or you gonna get free? I know you was depending on back-to-back, so cracking type of dance on me. But I don't care, there's a million repairs still left to be made just so it can be fair. Hope we can get there.
All right, I'm remembering now. I got it a little wrong. This is the band that's got Manuel Gardner Fernandes, however you say his name, the really sick guitar guy in it too, plus a good-ass bass player, but it's a low 7-string vibe, so very low tonalities. I got it wrong.
But your kid can just bear. So what's it gonna be? You wanna feel alive or you wanna feel free? And I know you can't compare the feelings, but there's a right there for me. Everything you love will go, wither away, never return, that I know. But I will keep my head in the clouds, eyes above, and my faith to the God I may never, ever know.
Fancy ass guitars, some cool, subtle, virtuosic playing in there, but it's all about the song so far. And the song's scary, heavy, really starts to get you grooving, especially as we get more guitars added in there, and it's setting a vibe. Mr. Aalon is great at setting a vibe. Thank you, Jason Aalon. And between the low vocals of just kind of rapping, almost talking, and the really heavy, scary tonalities, it's setting a vibe. The video sets the vibe too. What's this? Loch Ness? Something scary, something dark in work. Shifting the pans from right to left, long, ethereal, held out guitar notes. We're focusing on the long subdivision. I talk about this a lot in teaching. Long note values, but underneath is and that's what's keeping everything moving and what makes you like actually bob your head and be able to feel everything that's happening. Good musician stuff. They're going to get into ripping notes, but to be able to play the ripping and the fast and all the stuff that Manuel and all these people can play, you got to understand and be able to process the space like that.
All right, okay, let me tell you a couple of things about these killers.
I don't know the drummer's name in this band. I got to do a little more research and listening, but like you can hear that he's playing some of those subdivisions, and then we're introduced into this full verse vibe where we get the full groove with the guitars keeping everything moving underneath, and we're going into ba 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 ba, like an actual full melody rap verse type thing. You just gotta catch up.
Alright, okay, let me tell you a couple things about these killers. All night, all day, they gon' hang around till you fall asleep. Burritos like that. Wait until you dream that all up in your head, keeping you between the thoughts and the screams. The self and the steam convert all your dreams into hands on that screen.
Okay, influenced, very influenced there at the end by what's his name? I can't even remember, but yeah, by other stuff. The video is super cool. It's building us through some like different harmonic choices. We're playing some weird scales with his voice and the melodies, picking weird notes to keep everything feeling suspicious, like something might happen at any given moment.
Get up in your head, keeping you between the thoughts and the screams. The self and the steam convert all your dreams into hands on that screen.
Cool chorus. We go into the actual hard metal thing. It almost feels a little too much, a little too fast, a little too forced metal. Like, I like their slow breakdown vibe, which I'm sure is going to be some of the later use the same vibe for the heavy part. But you need that little fast metal bit, which brings me to my more negative point, which isn't about the band. The band's great, who we're staring at here. But I feel like Jason Aalon like determines that he's so good and forces a little bit of the vibe of everything he's in both a good and bad way. It's like, I don't feel like this is how the song should have gone, but we wanted Jason on this song, and that's why we curated it to him a little bit. And like, we should have just re-looked at the chorus maybe a little bit, but maybe I'm just talking smack too early. Everything else is like so fire. I'm just still annoyed that you kicked two of the best musicians out of Fever 333. This song's pretty slapping. We got that hard metal chorus, then we're gonna go back through the like verse groovy bits, and then hopefully we'll have a nice slow, chill, but rhythmic breakdown. Okay, so now we're in the chorus. That was a pre-chorus metal bit, a little strange, but I guess helps curate all the vibes together. That part felt a little forced before this though. Big open metal chorus feels great. Feels very influenced though in the vocals. The band is so ripping and so unique. My only criticisms are like, it kind of just sounds like periphery vocals that are like, he's trying to figure out what to do over the song. I get it, but come on, you can't make everything the Jason show. This is a sick band. Figure out what you're gonna do over this. Don't just like on and on we go, hanging out down the road. Just don't do the Spencer thing from Periphery the whole time. There it is. There's what I was looking for with the Unprocessed thing. Chorus feels a little too much. I like this little build-up bit here. It makes it feel back to scary, back to suspenseful. We don't know what's going on. We're building. And then, boom. Still a breakdown that's like minding that space. Keeping it focused on that longer subdivision, but making it heavier and making you like feel it. Getting heavy.
This feels like salt in my wounds. I try to hide. This feels like salt in my wounds.
That was kind of cool. The rhythmic Achel breakdown. We were doubling kind of our rhythmic subdivision from slow to double to double before we went into this next part here and we kept it the same for a while and then went into this next part. That's the kind of breakdown vibes I was looking for. It provides very cool musical feel, keeps it moving, and this is the Jason Aalon bit we want, and this is the thing that feels like it fits with the song. Some of it, as I talked about earlier, felt a little forced there. This is a great vibe. It's heavy as hell. Not what you expect. There's a little gappy in there. Very heavy, rhythmic, focused metal, which is what this band kind of goes for. See, rhythmic, it held it all the way to the end. Even kept it moving, kept it feeling faster, all the way back to that full metal-y fast feel. But it all is technically that same tempo. They're just playing different stuff, I believe. But that felt like it kept moving and brings us back to where we can clear that space for this singy bit. And this chorus hits again when it's not preempted by the weird forced metal bit. The big open breakdown, but like not the metal version, just broken down version with the singing and the vocoders and the harmonies, clears the air, feel light. And then we go back for this big metal-y chorus. And that's what keeps it moving, makes you feel it. I think we needed to scrap that middle bit where we tried to force a little metal thing in there. See, because there's the Jason Aalon thing. There's the fever thing. And try and save me! With the like really, you know, almost wet sounding screams. Plus the vocals singing on top, building to it, and now we're gonna have that final drive version with the dun, maybe another breakdown. Dude, see, and like all the instruments are huge. The mix sounds amazing. You hear that bass punchy, low underneath driving. The guitar is 7-string low, big. The rhythmic value is locked in, but it doesn't make it feel complicated. It makes it feel moving. Not like it's just pure prog, but like it's something that makes you it makes you move. And we're still focused on those long subdivisions with hits between to articulate it, which makes it feel spacious and head movie, ambient. Not just like if you filled all those spaces the whole time, not give you that same vibe. The drums are holding down the 1, 2, 3, 4, still in most of the spots, plus all the kick hits, so you can kind of mesh those crazy rhythms, feel that underlying subdivision while we focus on that big space subdivision. Woo! Spicy gap, beautiful guitar tones. Now I hope we end with this ambient thing, maybe just a breakdown or a chorus, and we don't try and force some more weird Jason Aalon bits in there. Maybe I'm wrong.
I live on and the tellings in the unheard language. These words aren't yours to understand.
And that'll lead right into their next song in the album for sure, whenever it happens. That mixing thing there is beautiful at the end. They're kind of clearing a lot of that rhythmic space, making it feel less big and heavy, letting you feel that soundscape in her voice, bringing it down, and then building it up to burst into the next song, which will probably start with a big old gong, 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 like a big old grooving beat. Really kind of a banger song. You know, there's one bit, and that's exactly what I was worried about. I mentioned in the beginning, one bit is that Jason Aalon kind of had to force his weirdness in there. I feel like that was totally his thing. Maybe I'm totally wrong and off, but it feels forced to have that middle chunk before the first chorus. It makes the song feel a little weird, not as flowy. Like if you just drop that, shink, everything would flow so nice. Starts with the huge instruments, the low bass, the low tone, beautiful instrumentation that shows virtuous, voiceful nature of their playing. They could play the whole time. They could play crazy stuff. We've all seen Manuel Gardner Fernandes, sorry if I said your name wrong, play the craziest stuff that everybody says is fake, blah, blah, blah. But they choose for the groovy banger song. You can feel it by the way we focus on those big subs. The mix is great. You got left, you got right, you got guitars, you got that low punchy bass keeping everything together. You got the drums just kind of filling it all out. The vocals sit right where they need to after the intro and the weird bits that feel kind of Jason Aalon forced. Jason Aalon in the Fever, a great vocalist to feature for this thing. Just, I feel like he might have put a little too much of his spice into your song instead of featuring. Because, you know, lately, sorry, you kicked the best two musicians out of your band. Lately, it's all the Jason Aalon show. You can kind of see that with the Let Live, Bring Back, all of it. He's really, really good, but that doesn't mean you get to just, you know, be an asshole, take everything over and think you're right. And I think you forced that metal bit into the song, or I'm wrong. But that was the weird part that kind of broke me out of it. Everything else linked together. It was flowy, punchy. The choruses were big. We had the rhythmic HL subdivision bit in the actual breakdown that made us get to metal and feel like we're moving. The metal is in the heavy tones and the instrument choice and what you did. But overall, great, beautiful song. I think it's a 6.4 out of 10. Sorry, maybe that's low, but that forced metal bit before the first chorus kind of really tore me out of the whole idea of what the whole thing could be. It was unexpected and it didn't really fit well, just kind of forced. To me, all to me, just opinions. I'm just yapping so I can keep it all in mind as I make or blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. The guy from Fever did great, even though I'm talking trash, just because I love Eric and Prada and Stevis. The rest of the band was awesome, and I gotta check more out and figure out the drummer's name. He was really good, and like figure it out. I thought they were a different band when we started, but it turns out they weren't. I knew of this band, and they've just gotten better. The first few songs I heard, so I gotta give them a deeper dive. All in all, I enjoyed it. Good job, Unprocessed. The song was Unprocessed. Head in the clouds. Like, subscribe for some more music yapping, bro. We're here. We're doing it. We're getting back on. Thanks, team. Great song. On to the next. Coffee and enjoy.